Press 1, play 2, player, put controller in, and then turn the power button on and say, power on! Power on, everybody.
So are we in the story? Is this in the boat still?
Yes, we're still in the boat, yeah. We're just chilling out in it. Welcome back to Dishonored 2, folks. I had this idea for the fixing this with the footage, like fucking last year. Because there was so much shit going on last year, I was like, it'll have to wait. I mean, if you look over here, you can see my record load, like the things I want to do that are projects. We have the Dishonored commentary, and we have the Sled Storm 4-player demo disc. So I have a demo disc for Sled Storm. It's on the Pizza Hut demo disc. Those were things.
What?
Yeah. So Pizza Hut released a bunch of demo discs like in the 1990s, towards the end there, when I was a kid. And my dad got his hands on 2 of them. And then they did it again, and that's the second one he has, is he got it the second time they did it towards like 2000. And I have them, and they're one of my most prized possessions because they're one of the few things I have left of them. But it has a Sled Storm demo for a racing game, and it's vastly different from the finished product. But it has the option to play multiplayer, and it looks like it has the option to do 4-player Sled Storm.
Oh,
so I'm gonna get 2 more controllers for the PlayStation 3, and I want to invite you and Vincent and Ashley, and we're all gonna play 4-player Sled Storm for like 2 episodes.
That's actually hilarious if they did that.
Yeah, it's very dumb. I don't think anyone else is gonna do it before we get to it, because those discs are really hard to come by. I'm still looking for the demo disc that came with, what's it called? Crash Bash. So I want that really bad for my collection, because the Crash Bash demo that was on the demo disc was actually, if you put in a secret code, it was the whole game.
Oh, so you legit, they would just give you demo disc.
Yeah. It was like a demo disc that wasn't supposed to have the full game, but they were stretched for time, so they just put the whole game on it and locked it behind a code. But if you put in the secret code, you get basically the finished product with a couple of bugs.
That's actually hilarious. That's really cool, though.
If people had found out about that at the time, it would have ruined them.
Thankfully. I wonder how people found the code. Maybe somebody had an inside, knowledge, had the code, and then they were, telling their friend about it. And it's like, oh, no, we actually just uploaded the whole game here. I'll show you. And then now the code gets released to the world. I've always wondered how stuff like that gets spread,
Yeah, me too.
Because somebody definitely had to have leaked it somewhere at one point.
I mean, some of those codes do get leaked by, developers, what's it called? The Pokemon stuff, the Easter eggs and things. Shovel Knight has a couple Easter eggs that people amazing one. Halo. A lot of its Easter eggs had to be released by Bungie. They had to be like, okay, go here, do this.
Because people just would never find it.
Yeah.
They have a...
Batman had to do that. The developers of Batman, Rocksteady, they had to go, okay, so after you've beaten the game, go to the warden's office, put 3 gluey things right there, blow them up. And they did, and it was like, oh, hey, look, we're making another game.
I feel like Easter eggs need to be done in a way where they can be found still. Because if you underestimate if you overestimate the commitment level to the people who are trying to find the Easter egg, then it might just never get found, right?
Yeah.
But then other things like Black Ops, zombies, and just what they've done with that, it's expected to have that level of Easter eggs. So the community there is all.
Did they ever solve that Easter egg with the door in Black Ops Origins, where it's all the remake maps?
I mean, I'm sure they have.
There's a couple of Easter eggs they still haven't solved. I don't know if that's one of them.
I haven't done my research that day. I just know that they're very committed to their Easter egg grinding. And then if you underestimate, then obviously you create a boring puzzle because
the thing is, they're still upset about how Black Ops 3's zombie campaign ended, and I personally liked it. I actually got to ask the voice actor of Richtofen, I got him to sign a picture too. It's up there. I got to ask him what he thought of it, and I was like, I honestly, personally liked it. I was like, it felt like a finite end, and I personally liked it because that thing's all over the place. And he was like, yeah, it is. It's all over the place. And he was like, so if I'm being honest with you, I liked it too. I felt like it was a good end. He was like, because it all came to a hold, and it gave them a little end, and it put all these things in this world and everything, and it put them all over the place. But like, it took all this stuff that was everywhere, and it put it all here, and it just worked out.
So if you could do a quick run through, tell me about how it ended, because I'm not aware of that.
So in the last one, which is, I can't remember what it's called, I think it's Revenant or something like that. It's the last zombie map that was released before Origins, which was just a bunch of remasters that had nothing to do with the canonity.
Yeah.
Actually, they made it canon now, is apparently they go back to those areas to do it all again, to start the process again, but this time they do a couple things differently. Anyway, point is, at the very end, they meet the Shadow Man, and they beat him, and then they're talking to what's-his-face, that's the professor that, like, is basically god of that realm. And they're like, he's like, wait a minute, why haven't you guys been wiped from existence? And it turns out it's because they've got this blood that basically creates a paradox, so he can't wipe them away. And he's like, you can't do that, that's not cool. And he goes like, well, I could wipe you away if I just go out of my way to do it now. And they're like, what am I supposed to do now? And he goes, well, you could just put us in our own separate universe and let us live our lives out. And then he's like, yeah, I got an idea. And then he puts them in the universe, and then it, like, puts them in a universe with all the scepters and everything. And so the problem with that is I kind of see two possibilities. People got angry about it, but I feel like it's either everything ends and it just, that's why they're all, like, the knights in shining armor and everything, or that's the beginning of the zombie apocalypse.
Oh, okay.
Which explains why when they're combing through, the first zombies to pop out are wearing armor and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
From, like, the knights and stuff.
That would be interesting. It's a good,
It, like, just brings it full circle and, like, creates this completion event.
Makes it more, that's the best way to
Makes it more realistic and, like, goes, okay, so they started it, so they end it.
Yeah.
Creates a cycle which stops paradoxes from happening.
If you create enough paradoxes, you'll break others.
Pretty much.
I don't know about you, but there's some YouTuber that just like posts a bunch of like paradox videos, and I've just seen a bunch of them just out of like pure curiosity. He's just like, he explains why it's a paradox, and that's basically it. That's the whole video.
Isn't there a Pinocchio paradox or whatever it is?
Yeah. If you say, what? I'm lying. That's literally all it takes, because if you say you're lying, or
if you say I am lying right now, you're not lying about lying, but then you are lying about lying.
Right, because, yeah, exactly. So then it just, so that's a, like, super simple one, but there's, like, a bunch of, like, complicated.
There's also an Eeyore one or something.
What's his, I'm sad?
Yeah, no, so it's, like, it has to do with his tail or something.
Because it grows back, or it's stapled on, or what?
It has to do with the fact that they can't find it, but if they never look for it, it never left. Something like that. It's like a Schrodinger's cat situation. That is a paradox in and of itself, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, actually.
Schrodinger's cat is like the best one to go to, because it's like, if you don't open the box, the cat is never dead, but the cat might be dead inside the box, but if you don't open the box, you won't know if it's dead. Which means that it's not dead.
The quantum of it is like, it's basically both dead and alive at the same time.
Exactly. Until you open that box.
Once it's been observed.
Exactly. It's a human interactable paradox.
Yeah.
Is basically what it is.
Yeah.
If the human interacts, it fixes the paradox because the paradox is no longer taking place.
Mm-hmm.
But then people have made that paradox even more complicated, because they're like, well, if you open it and you observe one reality, you could put the box down and it might change, but it also might not.
Yeah, it could, because dude,
quantum physics are fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, like I saw this thing. It's like there's a chance every time you like touch a wall that you will just your entire hand will go through the wall because of the spacing between the atoms
Yeah.
and your hand in the wall. There is, like, mathematically, there is enough space to where you could perfectly put your hand through every atom throughout in your hand and in the wall and just go through it. But obviously, you can't because, like, the likelihood of that happening is so astronomical.
The likelihood of that happening
It'll
in your
never
lifetime
happen.
is astronomical, yeah.
Yeah, it'll
But, like,
never
the thing that upsets me is the people that do it. I can actually show you how they do it.
happen.
How they go, oh, my hand's in it. I'll show you right now.
Yeah,
Power
there's a
off.
bunch of, like,
I'll
there's
show you.
definitely a bunch of, like, fake stuff.
Oh, there's 100. All of it's fake.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like the only quantum mechanics we can do and prove, like actually show right now, is on a very small level, by like getting a single atom to do something.
Exactly how they do it. You ready? They take their hand. They go like this. And they angle it like that, and they show their thumb, and they're like, "Oh no, my hand's in it," but they angle the phone so that you only see this bit. It's dick. I hate it.